remembering that you are a student athlete. You're not just an athlete at this point. So focusing on that student piece is a big part because that will take you further.
But you've also had a lot of success within NIL.
Yes.
And you've not even been on the field most of the time.
Yeah.
And I think people don't realize that's a possibility.
NIL, the whole purpose is that you're not getting paid for your athletic abilities. You're getting paid because of your name, image, and likeness, which means who you are as a person off the field, not your accomplishments on the field. When an athlete is enjoying themselves out on the field, that is when you play best.
So much better.
Yes, you are so much better when you actually are enjoying yourself.
What does it really take to make it to the next level in sports, and is it worth the sacrifices? If you could ask a college or pro athlete one unfiltered question about their journey, what would it be and why? And are the choices you're making today, the teams, the coaches, the training schedule, are those setting you up for success or burning you out before you even get there? I'm Kate Fitzgerald, a D1 beach volleyball player, walk-on turned scholarship athlete, female and sport leader, and now the founder of 2 businesses built through NIL. But none of that came easy. And trust me, most of it wasn't the brochure.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Committed by Athletes Off Duty, a new podcast where we give you the behind-the-scenes stories of athletes, what it takes to play at the next level. And today we have Division I soccer player, Bri. She's a soccer player at Arizona State University who has used her platform to become a standout student-athlete leader, storyteller, and advocate for equity and mental health well-being across college athletics. As president of both the Student Athletic Advisory Council, SAC, and the Empower program, Bri's led initiatives centered on inclusion, athlete voice, and building community, helping shift the culture around athlete sport at ASU and across the college athletic landscapes. Off the field, she's built a strong background in strategic marketing, branding, event management, and turning with athletic departments and companies to create campaigns that resonate with athletes and fans alike. Her interests lie in using storytelling to elevate sports and impact culture. Her personal mission revolves really around her 3 pillars: vision, voice, and value, a framework she uses to mentor young athletes and push for positive change across college sports. From injuries to playtime, for navigating college athletics as president of SAC and everything in between, please help me welcome Bri to the podcast.
Hi, everyone. Like Kate said, my name is Bri Nunley. I am a Division I soccer player, but also I like to consider myself way more than just an athlete at ASU. All the accomplishments she listed, very flattering to hear, to say the least. But yeah, above all, I am just a person like everyone else and happy to be here.
I'm so excited to have you here because a little background, Bri, I think I said this earlier, but she's like a little sister to me. I was I president when you came in as a freshman, which is crazy to look back. I feel old right now sitting here. But it's just incredible to see. I remember one time I think I drove you home one night and you were like, Kate, this is what I want to do, and I have all these aspirations. And it's been incredible to now, like, you've been accomplishing them and you are just thriving, and I'm so proud of you. And I can't wait to get into your story because it's so inspiring for so many to hear. But before we get into everything you've accomplished within college athletics, let's first talk about how you became a college athlete. So what was that like? Like, let's take it all the way back to what put you in soccer and how did that evolve to a deeper mission?
Originally, so my mom played collegiate soccer as well, actually. She played at Oregon State originally. So soccer has always been a part of my life. I think my favorite story is that when I was 3, I asked her to sleep with my best friend, which was my soccer ball at the time. And she...
it's my favorite person.
I'm like, can I have a sleepover? And as a 3-year-old, she saw me and did a little happy dance saying that I'm going to play soccer. And from that point forward, soccer was always just a huge part of my life, kind of made up a lot of the things I did, drove me through a lot of things, taught those things like dedication, and just a commitment to something to continue going further with it. So definitely started with my mom. She had the love of the game from an early age for me, and through that got to where I am now.
That's amazing. So you started early on and you were like, soccer is my life. This is the only sport I'm playing. Did you ever diversify and play other sports?
Yes, my mom was huge on the fact that you need to be more than just a one-sport athlete, and highly recommend that to all athletes across the board.
Totally agree.
Yes, you need to. Helps later in life too.
Yeah, it helps with everything. It's not just like your skill set for that sport will improve by playing other sports, but just in general.
Oh, yeah.
Social skills, everything.
Across the board. Yes, you need to get out of your little bubble and out of your comfort zone and go try those things.
So what were those sports for you?
Honestly, all of them. The only one really I didn't play was volleyball.
No way!
Yeah, that was it. But I mean, I did dance lessons when I was little. There's photos of me sitting in the corner hating it, but I still did it. I did basketball all the way up into 7th grade, I believe. And so basketball and soccer were always my main 2, but I did skiing growing up because I lived in Utah for a little bit. and yeah, pretty much just every sport. Honestly, like I could list them all.
So then when did you kind of hone in on soccer as your sport and you switched entirely to soccer?
That would be 8th grade. So when I moved to Arizona from Utah, that's when I fully was like, all right, soccer's my pathway. I want to do that. And because at the time, the recruiting process, coaches could talk to you in 8th grade freshman year. And so middle of 8th grade was kind of when I started getting that looks from coaches, emails, all of those type of things. And I was like, all right, okay, this is serious now. I need to lock in on this part.
Yeah, I've seen that as a pathway amongst not only my own personal story, but other athletes. It's like play multiple sports and then come in when you need to. So do you recommend that athletes today, I think it's so common that people are like, I'm going to go into baseball and I'm only going to do baseball.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you're kind of recommending, let's play as many sports as you can. And then when it becomes serious, you can put, put the others aside. Which is kind of now freshman year of high school, you'd say?
I'd say around there, especially because all the recruiting rules have shifted, which I think is the biggest blessing for people.
Totally.
I mean, was such a stressful situation sitting my freshman year English class, not writing my papers, but writing emails to coaches.
And also as a freshman, you don't know where you want to go. No one who's committing as a freshman had any clue on what to actually they'd want for college.
No, which I'm so happy that rule change came my freshman year because I had the offers right before the rule change was coming and had that opportunity to get those experiences. But at the time, I mean, I thought I was going to study microbiology and wanted to do all of that.
What are you studying now?
Marketing.
Yeah.
So, definitely not in the realm of microbiology at all. So thought I wanted to do that. And ASU actually was the school I was going to commit to my freshman year and had the offer from. But I decided to take advice from a lot of different people saying, wait, if it's still meant to be, it'll turn out the same. And it did. My junior year when I was able to commit, I still got the offer back and committed here and I've loved it. So
that's amazing. So tell me if you remember a little bit about that as a high school athlete. Like, what was your mindset? What were you thinking? How were you reaching out to coaches? Like, what was that experience for you?
Honestly, it was quite a fun experience.
Really?
Very stressful, but I'm also someone who I love stressful situations. I think I excel more in it than when stuff is laid back. It definitely helps me more. So as much as it was stressful and everything in it, I had so much fun learning through not just communication styles of how do you talk to an adult in a professional manner, but just writing emails was a simple thing that in 8th grade, I had no idea how to write an email and send it properly. Like, who am I emailing at that point?
You're like, what?
Yeah. So it was so cool to learn all of those things. And of course, it's before ChatGPT was a thing. So you actually had to write them yourself. And one of the biggest pieces of advice that I got from someone and encourage other athletes to do is that you write your own emails. Don't have your parents be doing it. Don't hire someone to write your emails. Do it yourself because it's personal. The coaches want to know you for who you are, not an image that you're just trying to present. So that would be the biggest piece of advice in that. And yeah, honestly, it was fun. Enjoy it because I look back and I thought that was stressful and I'm like, I wish I could go back.
Well, you said something interesting about stress. You said you find it fun. And I can relate to that.
Yes.
But I think that is a very key factor in how you're able to find fun in stress.
Yes.
So kind of talk us through what does that mean? Like when you're a high school 16-year-old athlete and just student and girl in high school managing all of that, how did you find fun in the stress at that age?
I think it was a lot of the piece of the learning through it. I'm very much someone who I love to learn. Anything new I can take in and grasp is something I see as a challenge. And then how do I get on top of that mountain per se?
Totally.
And so this was something to me that I'm like, this is the mountain that I need to climb. My goal is to play Division I soccer somewhere. How do I get to that piece? And every step of the way, as hard as it is and challenging, it's one step closer to your goal. So those little milestones and little victories to the bigger end goal is what was fun to me to accomplish along the way.
It's almost like you looked at it in a sense of people doubting me or the challenges is actually what's motivating me to make it fun and enjoy it.
Oh,
which
completely.
Makes sense. I mean, that's kind of the mindset of a D1 athlete because day-to-day is not beautiful.
No,
it's
definitely.
not glamorized. It looks glamorized, but the day-to-day reality of an athlete, especially D1 athlete, but at any level, is a lot of challenges. It's a lot of stress. So that's really good foresight that you have to manage it starting then. So then once you were sending out emails, I mean, do you remember, did you get a lot of rejections? How many no's to yeses did you get? And what was your approach to contacting a coach?
My approach was being genuinely just myself and who I was because, like I said before, I didn't want to put out that fake front because also I wouldn't want to be at a school that didn't like me for me.
Totally.
So yes, there definitely was rejections, but the funny part is in the moment, it definitely felt like a big thing. But now I can't even remember the schools that said no or weren't interested because you move on. And for every no, there's a yes somewhere else. You just got to find that right school and fit that's for you, not for your best friend on the team, but what actually works for you. So
I love that.
Can't really remember the no's, honestly. Like, I can remember the feeling of being like, oh, that kind of sucks, but all right, what's next? Like, keep moving forward.
You had a good line. Every no, there's a yes, and you're doing it for you, not for your best friend, not for someone else. Like, you need to pick the school for you.
Oh, yeah.
And so then when you finally finalized on ASU, what made you determine this is the school I want to go to?
A big piece of it was academics, that they had the honors college, which I'm in, because that was something that was huge to me. I loved school. I loved to learn, like I said before. Yeah. So as much as I was an athlete, and definitely then put my identity as an athlete going into college and deciding what school, but the academic piece was still always that big component that I wanted to lean in on. And ASU had those offerings and had the academic coach on every Zoom call with me, made sure that I knew about all the available resources between hearing about SAC coming in when I'm a junior in high school trying to commit, and I have no idea what this even is, but they're still presenting it to me, and seeing other leaders on the team of stuff that they've done, and just these examples of not just athletes, but the human beings behind them was a huge piece of why I wanted to come to ASU and wanted to embody everything that it meant to be an athlete here.
So you said two good points. That one, first of all, what advice do you have to an athlete right now who's looking at different colleges? Like, what should they first focus on outside of their sport and within their sport, more than just like, playing soccer? It's all those other factors of the team dynamics and the university and where you are. Like, what advice do you have someone who's looking for that right now?
My advice would be focusing on things that, one, you're more than just an athlete. Like, at this moment, it definitely feels like your sport is your life, your world, and that is completely normal. And honestly, a good thing, because that's where it's got you to where you are now. But focusing on those pieces like the academics, the culture of the team, actually seeing how the girls interact with each other, not just, again, a fake image that can be put out there on social media, but on your visits, actually looking into and being like, is everyone close to each other? Do people stand off in the corner by themselves? That type of environment, because as a Division I athlete, most people, as sad as it is, get injured at one point or another, and that takes you out of the soccer piece or whatever sport you play, that those other components become the bigger piece to you. So will you still be happy in an environment that you're not playing or doing your sport all the time and can rely on other things too?
There's also the reality that you might not start. Like, you could get there and you might not play a game, or even you might start and the next game something happens. Like, so those are really key factors, which kind of leads me to the next question. For an athlete, you talked about your identity being your sport when you were coming in, and it doesn't sound like that's your identity anymore.
No.
So what advice do you have to athletes, either currently or like young athletes, about their world is their sport? And there's obviously, that's important because it gets you to the next level. But like, what is your outlook now on that?
I think definitely just remembering that you are a student athlete. You're not just an athlete at this point. So focusing on that student piece is a big part, because that will take you further, because there always comes a day where even if you go into pro sports, your body can't play till you're 50. I mean, that's just a given. So focusing on the point that there is life after sports still, no matter how long or short that is to where you are at this moment, but making sure you're prepped for that part of it as well. And yes, focus on the athletic sides. I'm not saying don't be that athlete in yourself, but just find other parts to you, because you need to. I mean, you are so much more than just an athlete in that. And if you put your soul, happiness, and who you are to that, like you said, you can't control those factors. A coach could not want to play you. You could be injured. Like, anything can go wrong in those ways, that you got to prep yourself and be ready for what's next.
Totally. I mean, I couldn't agree more. You know that. And
yes.
You had a really unique kind of experience at ASU. So when you came in as a freshman, what was your freshman year like?
So my freshman year, I had a medically redshirt. So that in itself was a very unique and difficult challenge. But looking back, I'm so grateful for it, because it helped me get to where I am now. But yeah, third day of preseason, I believe it was, I blew out my ankle. And from then I did not get to play. I tried to come back and play and forced through the injury, but I think 2 weeks of playing, I had to call it quits again after trying to come back, and was out pretty much until the next season, and dealt with more injuries to come after, but was a unique experience in it. The athletics side was incredible for the piece of trying to help me get back, the support in it. But really what helped me was one of the people in CSAC, or Carson, that we call it, was Dina. And she came up to me one of the days I was injured and was like, well, there's more to ASU than just soccer that you're playing. Like, you can't go on travel trips now And that's such a harsh reality to see, especially as a freshman. I mean, I'm 17 trying to look at this, but Dina,
your world's been soccer, and you know, 2 weeks in, blow your knee out. You're barely meeting new players. That it's like, or sorry, your ankle.
Yes,
but you're trying to navigate meeting girls on the team and navigate friendships, and now you're like, I don't have soccer anymore.
Yeah, definitely was rough. I mean, the friendship wise, it was 2 days of training that I had with everyone, and that third day being out in that morning practice. I mean, it's hard to feel like a team member when you haven't been there in the first place. And secondly, you're not on the field. So you're not communicating with them all the time in the same aspects. No one really knows who you are as an athlete yet. They just see you as the girl on the sideline at first. And my teammates were incredibly supportive that wasn't the reality, but that's how it felt, that I was just the girl on the sideline. Yeah. So how do you get past that piece and embrace that moment too and become your teammates' biggest cheerleaders? Because that's a part of the sport too, is again, like you said, injured or just not playing, you've got to cheer those on because it's your team.
Yeah. So how did you do that?
You know, a lot of it was the seniors that year. They were incredibly supportive. And the fifth years, the leadership on the team, they came to me individually, would meet with me for coffee, take me out, make sure that I felt still part of that team and would drag me in, even if they could see that maybe I wasn't having the best day. So my team definitely cheered me on in ways that I don't even think they realized by just saying good morning to me while I was sitting and they're warming up. Those little moments are what built up to making me feel like a real member of the team again and wanted to be so involved. And they're cheering me on in my own challenges. I want to embrace them and cheer them on in everything they're doing because it is a team. Like, that's your family at the end of the day.
And I like what you said about those little moments. I think all athletes listening could really take that to heart of like, whether you're the starting team captain, whether you're never going to touch the field, whether you're somewhere in between, whatever it may be, there's a role. And, you know, people hear that. It's hard to believe, but you just said how true that is. Like, just simply saying good morning makes a difference to that person. And it creates a team environment because in the end of the day, we're all humans and want that human connection.
Exactly. I mean, those were the biggest pieces. Like, that's what my freshman year, I look back and I remember those good mornings or high fives when you're on the bench compared to, I mean, even because I never got to really touch a soccer ball or play any minutes. So I don't look back at the games. I look back at those little pieces and they build up to something even bigger.
Yeah. And now I'm sure you still have lasting friendships.
Oh, completely. I mean, every year there's a person on the team that I'll still talk to. I mean, even now, the people who graduated a year or 2 years ago, I'm meeting them with coffee and seeing how they're doing. We're all checking in on each other. It's a lasting, I mean, it's a family, like I said.
It totally is. You're done, but you're still a part of this ever-evolving team.
Oh, completely.
And everyone goes in their own directions of life, and it's so beautiful. And I mean, that's incredible. That's so inspiring. So then, what do you have advice-wise? Because in the end of the day, especially for a younger athlete listening, how can they navigate embracing team culture while also being highly competitive and wanting to win?
I would say it's, again, like you said, the balance of it. How do you find it is you got to look at yourself and be a good person before just being a good athlete. That obviously you want to be the best athlete you can be, drive that competitiveness in a culture of a team, challenge each other, but have the trust within your teammates that they're challenging you for the right reasons. They're not challenging you to put you down and say you're not doing good enough, but hey, I know what you're capable of. Let's get to that level and push each other in that. But if you are the one who's not starting, you've got to embrace the person who's in front of you and cheer them on when it's game time. When it comes to practice, I mean, do all your best to try to beat them out. Like,
just, it's only going to make you and the other person better.
Like,
you're challenging everyone.
Completely.
You have to keep going for it.
And the competition is a good thing. Some people think it's scary or not good on a team, but that competitive level is what drives teams to championships. And overall, that's all what we want to be as athletes, is champions in it. Yeah. So driving each other to be better every single day and every moment and keeping each other accountable, building that trust within the team is huge and keeps the team going and having that winning legacy.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Well, you said something about being champions, and you've been a champion outside of your sport. You've been a champion for mental health and the just like awareness for student athletes. So kind of tell me about that.
Again, that started with Dina coming up to me and saying, hey, Bri, you could lead Empower. Like, have you heard of this? And I was like, I have no clue what that is, Dina. What are you even talking about? Because I was in my little bubble of just being a soccer player. And once I got out of that, all these doors started opening. And the people I started meeting, that I had friendships on every single team across ASU athletics, not just my own team, which was amazing to have in those friendships, but sometimes you need to get out of that world because you learn so much about the other sports, what they do, and it gives you a different perspective in life.
And so Dina was an academic advisor for
Yes.
ASU athletics.
Yes.
Because for those of you listening, like within a college university, you have advisors and different people. And so Dina came to you and was like, hey, here's more.
Yeah.
And so through that, you got into the Empower program, which is about female athletes and empowering them. So then in the end, like once you started getting involved in this, like what does an athlete's voice then mean to you? And how can schools better center that in their culture?
The athlete's voice, I think, is the true heart of the program. And the reason is because they're the ones who are experiencing it day in and day out. The leadership of it and all the coaching staff, everything is so appreciated. Us athletes could not be who we are without them at all. But also the athletes are the ones experiencing it day in and day out. And giving the feedback to others and letting your voice be heard is a way that, again, you create that winning culture within a program because you're constantly trying to make everyone within this program be better.
Yeah.
From our trainers to our coaches to the academic coaches, all of it. Everyone wants to better themselves every day. That's why you're in sports. You love that competitive environment.
Yeah, it's almost like breaking down this like stigma mindset of everyone needs to show up at their best and being like, let's connect with each other and lean on each other's resources and having athletes say, I'm going to go talk to my coach. I'm going to go talk to my advisors, but then having those people be available to talk to.
Completely. Yeah. And that's what, I mean, I've been so grateful that my experience, there has been everyone outside of, yes, the coaching staff, the trainers, the academic coaches, all of them have been present in my life in so many different ways that it's allowed me to grow and see so much more to life.
So outside of that injury freshman year, what are moments that have challenged your identity and how did you push through them?
I think big pieces are also the transfer portal is so big in college athletics now. So seeing your teammates come and go constantly and every year it's almost like, oh, wow, we're restarting again. Like this is a new team. So I think in the beginning that's hard to let go of those friendships, but not in a way of you're not friends anymore, but just hey, there's new opportunities now, there's new people and being open to this new environment of a team, especially when you are someone who's there constantly year in, year out. You see the changes for better or for worse in each ways, but how do you keep making them better each time and accepting those changes to the fact that it's not a bad thing that the team's new. Like this is something to embrace. Let's love it. And let's now look at all these strengths that we have that we might not have had last year.
So how do you navigate that? Like what's a tangible kind of checklist or something you do when this happens in the new year starting and it's a new team?
One of my biggest things is making sure I talk to each individual somehow personally within the first week of meeting them. It can be a 1-minute conversation, 5 minutes. They could become my new best friend, any of those things, but just actually reaching out to them, especially if it's freshmen. Because freshmen, I mean, you're scared.
You're like, oh my God, what am I getting into right now?
It is such a new world going into preseason, double days, all of it, trying to balance the academics that for me, especially now being a senior, the biggest thing has been reaching out to those people and making it an effort that I'm going and having an actual conversation with every individual on the team.
So in that, when you're kind of mentoring them in a way, like what advice do you have other athletes that are trying to get into college athletics and find their voice and find their place on a team, or they're trying to navigate this new team and the transfer portal? Like what advice do you have to them?
The biggest piece would to be know yourself first. You need to understand who you are, be confident in that, because if you're not confident in yourself, how are you going to be confident in a team environment in general? So you need to know who you are, what you stand for, and have that align with the things that your team is trying to accomplish and get that mission.
So has all of this kind of changed your idea of what success means within a team and just in general? Like what does success mean to you now?
Success to me, I think so many people just focus on that end goal. And that's incredible. Like you want to achieve those moments, but success to me really is learning and the growth through those goals. Like achieving it, yes, that's something you can mark off the checklist. But really, success to me is, am I better than I was yesterday? Did I learn something new? Did I improve? Am I a better person because of it?
I like that. Like, am I better than who I was before?
Yes,
it's a constant competition with yourself.
Completely.
Totally. So then, within this talk of success and transfer portal and athletics, did you ever consider the transfer portal?
I definitely did. I think every athlete can say at one point they did.
Totally agree.
If you're saying you didn't, I think that's a lie.
Every athlete has said, I'm out of here. Bye.
Yeah. And I think looking back, like I didn't transfer for a reason. And it's a lot of in the moment feelings can become so big and not playing can be something that's like, oh my gosh, like I'm not playing. This is horrible. What am I going to do? And you wake up the next day and you're like, I'm still here and life is good.
It's okay.
Like, it's okay.
I'll have better practice
Yeah,
hopefully tomorrow.
Exactly. And that's what I tell a lot of people now is they're like, oh, I played so bad today. Like, I'm not getting on the field. I won't be in the starting lineup. I'm like, well, good thing we have a practice tomorrow and the next day and 3 more years of it. If you're a freshman coming in,
actually,
like,
you're going to run a lot more.
Yeah, like, this is not the end all be all. And so I definitely did consider it, but there's a reason that I stayed. And the reasons I stayed outweighed it by far more.
And were some of those reasons greater than just the sport?
Completely.
It was the university.
Yeah, it was the university itself, all of the support staff that I had in it. And I really had to look at that you are more than just your sport was a big piece of it. And especially for me, I think my story is so different because, I mean, I've been injured more and not able to play in more games than I've actually been available to play in.
Yeah.
So when you look at that aspect of it, soccer was completely taken out of it. So that is a component that's not always easy to navigate.
Yeah. Well, that's so good for people to hear, especially younger athletes, because that is out of your control.
Completely.
Athletes can, like, they're type A, most of the time, at least with their sport, to get at any high level.
Yes.
And so it's like, that is out of your control. You got injured and you've done everything exercise. So it's like that ability to have a community and enjoy where you are, even if the sport wasn't there, is so important during the recruitment process and, like, in general with Completely. Once you get there, don't go to the university and just be like, go to the pro team and be like, oh, this, that. Like, make a community.
Embrace every piece of it. Because also, I mean, it creates those lifelong friendships. Totally. And you learn so many more life lessons than just looking at who you are as an athlete.
And you meet some really incredible people. Everyone has a unique story.
You really do. I mean, that's my favorite thing is meeting people and listening to them because every person in your world that you meet, you learn something from.
Yeah.
Like, and those are even those little minute conversations with my teammates that I try to have. You learn something new, and there's a lot of lessons I've learned from people just with 30 seconds of talking to them.
Totally. So how have you navigated being like a very independent girl, friendships and relationships, from every level? Like, how do you navigate that?
A lot of time management is the biggest, and that's in every piece of, everyone will say that being an athlete at any level is time management.
What does that mean for you?
For me, it's a lot of schedules. I am very...
Calendar checklist?
Yes, it is calendar and checklist. I need that in order to stay organized. But in that, just finding out that, hey, checking in with the people around me of, do you notice I'm not as present? Like, asking their advice as well and being open to the criticism in it, because sometimes you get so stuck in your world, you don't see that maybe I have been a bad friend.
Yeah.
Or if you're dating someone, maybe I haven't been a good enough partner. Or to your family, I haven't been as present as I should be because I'm so involved in the things I'm doing, and that's incredible.
Totally.
But you need to look outside of just yourself and who's all around you, because they in the end are the ones who helped you get to where you are now.
Completely. And it's so important that you don't lose sight of that.
Completely.
And you're not just engulfed with your sport. So then with all of this, have you ever had a moment, which every athlete has, so I know the answer is going to be yes, with your injuries especially, where you're like, I am just quitting soccer. I'm done. I quit. I don't want to play the sport anymore. And well, that obviously didn't happen. So how'd you get through it?
I think it's just the perseverance, Pierce. You got to wake up the next morning and be like, I can do this. No challenge is too big for me to handle. And again, that confidence piece of knowing yourself that this is a hard moment, but it's only a moment. And there's more moments to come that are going to be so much better. And you're going to be at the top of that mountain that you just climbed. And it's the greatest victory you ever had because of those little milestones and the growth that you had in the learning. That is how I measure success that I said earlier. But it really is just understanding that this is just a moment of time. This too will pass.
And so what I think is really unique is you've had a lot of ups and downs throughout your journey, and you've navigated like friendships, the relationships, injuries, sport, leadership, but you've also had a lot of success within NIL.
Yes.
And you've not even been on the field most of the time.
Yeah.
And I think people don't realize that's a possibility. Yes. I think people think NIL and college athletics nowadays is like, if you're not the starting quarterback, like you're screwed, which is just not true.
No, it's not.
So tell me about that.
NIL, it's been incredible, honestly, to learn as I go with it, because, I mean, when I got here is when it first started really being a thing.
Right.
So the amount of different ways that you've had to process deals or go through it and make sure that you still have your eligibility, even though you're making money, has been such an ever-changing landscape, and I think will continue to be as we're learning it. And I think just through it, it's really helped me understand legal transactions too in general.
You're like, oh, wow, I didn't know all this.
Yeah, and banking and taxes on it too at a certain point, because you do get taxed on NIL. Like, athletes, remember that, please. You do get taxed.
Even if it's a free gift and not cash,
yeah,
you get taxed on that.
The
amount of that gift.
Yes, you still get taxed. So through it, I mean, as the years have gone on, I've gotten more into it, and ASU definitely provided a platform that really helped about it, with all the different people they had that you could learn from, but also the different apps that you could sign up for, which is like 98 Strong and Postgame are ones that are really common for athletes to use. And you can just go on and click a deal saying, I want to be a part of it. And it's open to any athlete.
Yeah.
So those are just easy ones to do.
So what's a campaign or project you've worked on that really reflects who you are beyond the jersey and that was really cool?
The most recent one, and probably my favorite, is the GoDaddy Arrow campaign.
I love it.
It's been incredible. One, at ASU, I had the incredible opportunity, which Kate helped launch. So want to point that out too. Thank you to you, because you helped me with this. But to really let athletes create this website or brand to show who they are, what they want to be, and a platform that they can continue to grow. But from that, I then got the amazing deal and partnership to work with GoDaddy Arrow and their team to present who I am outside of just being an athlete. So that has been incredible as well. And honestly, just one of the most amazing experiences from everyone on the team, from the Camp 4 productions that did it to GoDaddy Arrow, all of them, and everyone at ASU, including Kate specifically. You have all been so incredible and made this journey so easy for me that I'm just grateful.
So then what was that like once you got the campaign? Like, what was the shoot like?
The shoot was very time consuming, which was in our contract, so I knew it would be. But honestly, it was so much fun. And that's where the work and the stress again turned to fun. Because yes, you're running from thing to thing, shoot to shoot. You're having to listen to directors, which as an athlete, I mean, you're used to listening to coaches, but you're not used to, it's very different that it's, if you mess up the clip, no, it is go back and redo it. It's not work through the bad scene.
It's like, no, fix it.
Yeah, like fix this now. So was definitely a very different environment, but an incredible atmosphere to be around and just showcase who I am outside of, yes, I'm an athlete, but what else do I do in that, in a bigger screen setting, you could say.
Yeah.
And also when I first got the deal, the biggest thing was the contracts. This is a lot of paperwork with NDAs that you have to sign, but then also just the contract itself of how much are you committing to doing for this company or production, anything that it is, and that you got to follow through on it. Like you are signing a legal binding document and understanding the value of what that means.
Yeah. And I think people overlook that because it can be like, oh, let me just do this social media post. But like how many followers do you have on Instagram?
Almost 2,000 now. So it's not a ton.
It's not like you're at, 2 million followers or even 20,000 followers on Instagram. So this GoDaddy contract was really because you were able to it was your story that aligned with the brand and a company.
Completely.
And I think athletes forget about that. It's like, yes, okay, it's great. You can work through Postgame, get Adidas, but there's all these NIL opportunities that you've experienced even more than the GoDaddy ones where you've seen success, where it's like, I as a person and as an athlete align with this brand's values, and that brings me an NIL deal.
Yeah, completely.
And is that what happened?
Yes, that completely is what happened. I mean, they reached out to me through the services and ASU helping provide it, but seeing that it was our mission, our voices, and our values all aligned together, and that's why we wanted to work together.
Yeah, that's amazing. So what kind of moving forward is your next big goal for NIL? And also with seeing an NIL success that's not necessarily expected, how do you navigate the friendships on the team? How does that work with team dynamic when maybe you're getting an NIL deal and someone's not?
Honestly, my team has been so incredible. They're your biggest fans. You get a deal and it's just them cheering you on, always supporting you. If you're like, hey, I need an extra like or comment, can you please help me out? Everyone is like, yes, of course, I got you. What do you mean? It's everyone's biggest cheerleader, not just in the sport, but in life in general. So really on our team, I've never felt that of criticism or backlash from anyone on my team. It's only been support and people praising you for it too, which has been awesome.
That's amazing. Yeah. And so then what advice do you have then moving forward to athletes that are wanting to get involved with NIL, but maybe they don't have the big social media following, or something isn't they're not the starting quarterback?
Yeah, for that, I mean, NIL, the whole purpose is that you're not getting paid for your athletic abilities. You're getting paid because of your name, image, and likeness, which means who you are as a person off the field, not your accomplishments on the field. So really honing in on that piece of it and just reaching out to people, because the worst thing they can say is no, but end of the day, you just made a contact through that. So learning to network in the real world is something NIL helps with and teaches a life lesson of. But then once you do get those deals and those yeses, really aligning with, okay, what ones do I want to do? Because you'll get to a place where there's a lot coming at you and you have to pick and choose. And what one do I align with? Because you don't want to just say yes to every brand if it's something you don't actually support.
Totally. And talk a little bit more about the life skills you've learned through being NIL.
I'd say the networking is a huge piece, which you learn in every part of college athletics, but definitely in NIL has helped that of how when you're the one searching for a deal, how do you network in that to find someone who will align with you? But then also the communication side of it of how do I talk to someone professionally? How do I present myself in a way that they'll look at it and be like, oh, this is someone I'm interested in hearing about. And it's almost like you're in a recruiting job process for this too. They're looking at you as what you're giving them almost as a resume of what you're doing. So it's how do you put yourself in a light that one is positive for them and aligns with their values and tailoring everything to that piece and matching it.
Yeah. And what was like, going back to your shoot, what was your favorite part of it? Like, what was it like on set?
Honestly, my favorite parts were the moments in between the shooting. Like, not the acting and everything, like, it's fun to try to embrace it, but I will say by no means am I an actor.
You're like,
definitely not or an actress by any means, but the little pieces in between it, I mean, the set was just, everyone in the crew was incredible, from the people doing the lighting that I have longer nails on and I can't open soda cans or anything by myself right now because of my nails. And I felt like the most like, oh my gosh, I don't mean to be pretentious in this, but can you please open this water can? Because all of them had the little, I don't know what it is, but on the soda can where the lid you have to flip up. And that everyone was just so willing to help out in any way and getting to know them too as people, that the in-between of being like, oh, what does this lighting do? Yeah. What does this camera actually do? What is this lens? How is it different from the other one?
So you're just learning about this whole industry.
Yes, completely.
So have you had any NIL deals or DMs or messages that you're just like, whoa, no. Like, what happened? Like, can you share about those at all?
I think there's some that it's people that are kind of just, it's not that they don't have a ton of following, but they don't really know what they stand for in themselves. They're more just reaching out to use your name, image, and likeness to get their own following, not for what they actually stand for at all. So when I see those, it's kind of like, I don't know. Like,
do you not respond?
A lot of the time I just don't respond because it's a very generic message in it and
copy paste. You can see that.
Yes, you can completely.
It's very obvious.
It's the same as when we're sending emails to coaches back to the recruiting. I mean, coaches understand when it's copy and pasted, and athletes see that with the NIL deals as well, especially for people who they don't know what they stand for. They don't know what they're trying to sell. They're just trying to get attention.
Yep.
So from those are my definite of no, maybe not yet. If you come back and have a little bit more of this is who I am or who we are and we want to help you represent us, then I'll be more interested.
Yeah, that's amazing. So then you've balanced so many different areas now. You know, you're playing, you're healed, so you're playing. Yes. Season's coming up, it's starting. You're a president of SAC, of Empower and leadership. You're doing NIL. Like, how do you? What advice do you have to athletes that are wanting to get into college and like get in all these responsibilities and then balance it all?
Say again, I know it's so repetitive, but that time management piece of find what works for you. If it's something physical, I have so many friends that they actually buy calendars and have to write out everything in their day physically. That if it's your iCloud calendar with whatever you use, but just find what works for you to keep all those tasks manageable.
I also think it's important to call it like, don't be embarrassed to do it if you like it.
Oh yeah,
that's like a huge roadblock people run into.
Oh yeah,
they're like, oh, that's weird. It's like, that's cool. Actually, like it promise you in the long run, you'll be thankful you got involved.
Yes, definitely. Being different and unique and stuff is actually a good thing. It's not a weird thing or something to frown upon in any way.
It's brought you NIL deals with less than 2,000 followers simply because you were involved.
Yeah.
And that's all it takes. And then, it sets you up for life after sport too.
Completely.
You have those connections. And that's hard at, 17 years old when you're coming in to hear and be like, oh, I want to be involved. Like, no, that's weird. Your other freshmen are like, what's wrong with you?
Yes.
Like, why are you doing that? But it's cool. It really is.
It is. It is the thing that helps you also I mean, you make more friends that way.
Yeah.
Like, people think that you're going to be weird or something from it. No, I've made so many more friends by being involved in relationships. Like, I would not have known you at all before this if I did not get involved in different ways. Like, I mean, our classes aren't similar at all. Like, you were a senior when I was a freshman. Like,
I think a junior.
Junior? Okay, yeah, you were a junior when I was a freshman.
When you were a freshman.
And totally different sports. Like, our paths would have never crossed.
Completely. And it's almost like, I think the people at first, I always say the people at first who might like think it's weird or be like judging you for getting involved or, you know, putting yourself out there for NIL, whatever it may be, they always circle back and are like, wait, how'd you get that? Wait, how'd you do that? Wait,
no,
what? Can you help me, please? I really need to talk to
Yes.
someone. And you're like, yeah, I mean, always show kindness.
Oh,
The
yeah.
world's small.
Yes.
Everyone knows everyone.
Yes.
But I think that's a huge roadblock for athletes.
It definitely is. And seeing that there's so much more to it. I mean, not only do you can get cool deals, yes, but that's not why I ever got involved in the first place.
Yeah.
It's really just to be something more than yourself, be in a community outreach, and it helps you see when you do get in your lows of your own world, you get to be around other people and they bring you back up too.
It's probably made you a better athlete too.
Oh,
like,
completely.
You're probably better at soccer because your world's not soccer.
No, it definitely has. And I mean, that's even going into each season now when I set my goals and do those things. They used to be, oh, I need to do this many passes forward. I need this many goals or those type of things. Now it's more focusing on the things I fully can control. And it's the have fun, embrace every moment. This won't last forever, which is a sad truth. And above all, just control the controllables. So if I can make that good pass, I'm going to do it. But I also don't dictate when I get the ball. So having a certain number to that, yes, it's very good. But for me, what I found works better is focusing on what I really can control in myself.
That's really interesting. I'd love to break soccer down more because it's like, yes, you know, in beach volleyball, it's I can make X many, like so many serves. Like, you know, there's certain metrics, but in soccer, that's not necessarily true because you don't know when you're getting the ball. So how do you navigate that mental health as a player?
With it, my saying always is control the controllables. I mean, when anyone asks me, that's completely my go-to for it. And yes, I think you still should set, if you're a forward, get X amount of goals in the season. That is an incredible thing to have. Do not limit yourself in that by any means. But for me, what has just worked personally is when I got so caught up in those pieces, I focused so much on those individual goals and not the bigger picture that I started messing up more because I got so stressed and freaked out and thinking, oh my gosh, I'm so far away from this goal. Like, what do I do next? And that in the game, I couldn't actually just enjoy it and have fun because when an athlete is enjoying themselves out on the field, that is when you play best.
So much better.
Yes, you are so much better when you actually are enjoying yourself. And so for me personally, and it doesn't work for everyone, but that's what I found is when I focus on that piece of the game of enjoying it, the soccer follows. So.
Yeah. You're like, when you're able to focus on like, this is just fun. I'm enjoying this. Like, you play better overall. Like, what advice do you have to a parent who's putting their kid into sports right now? It's like taking away someone who's putting their kid into soccer and they're like, okay, you know, they talk about being a college athlete, their son or daughter really loves the sport. Like, how should their parents navigate that?
I would say focus on the love of the sport because when these workouts come in preseason that you have 2-a-days, if you don't love the sport, you are not getting through it. I mean, it is hard, it's brutal, it's demanding, and that's such an amazing thing. It makes you a better person, a better athlete. But you have to have love for the sport or else you can't keep going forward because if you're just completely unhappy doing it, I mean, your progress is going to go down. Your body is not going to want to function the way it's supposed to, all of it. So really to even, because I do train younger kids now and help mentor them, the parents, when they come up to me asking for, oh, my son or my daughter needs to do this better and beat the player better, I kind of just look at them like they're 7-year-olds out there. Like right now, they don't need to be focusing on that. What they need to be focusing on is the love of the game, that they're
enjoying the exercise, making the friendships,
exactly,
like learning, okay, how do I kick a soccer ball? Like not, you know,
like you will get to the nitty gritties. Definitely like have that focus in it, but don't make it your whole being in it. Like you want to focus on the little pieces and get better and strategize, but you can't have that be your only goal in it because by the time you get to high school or college athletics, you're going to be so burnt out in it and you won't love the game.
Totally.
And then what's the point of that? Because you're not going to be living a life you love. That's not a life you want to live.
Yeah. And I mean, that even circles back to why you should play multiple sports.
Oh, yes. No, definitely.
Like there's so many pieces to it. So then what advice, that's advice to your parents looking back at maybe your 17-year-old self right now or 15-year-old self right before stepping onto campus and stepping into this world, like just even maybe even before recruitment, before you committed to ASU, like what advice do you have to those players?
enjoy it. I mean, I'm going to keep saying it, but just enjoy those moments and the little in-betweens because it goes by so fast. Like the fact that I'm a senior now is just, whoa, how?
Yeah.
Like, how did that even happen?
Time flies
It
by.
seriously is, but just enjoying those moments and that there's always another game the next day. There's another practice when you're that young in your career. And if you're really wanting to move it forward and keep playing, there'll be more opportunities, and see those mistakes or when you get so down on yourself as that area that you can grow in the game and who you are, because that's where you learned. And the next time you get back to that, you're not going to make the same mistake, really.
Totally.
Like, you learned from it.
Yeah, totally. And you talked also a lot today about like your injuries and navigating that.
Yeah.
So like, what advice do you have to someone who's going through an injury right now and it's just unexpected, and every time they get better it just crashes back down again, and you don't know, you're navigating this world. Like, what advice do you have to that player?
Don't give up hope. That is the biggest thing, and it's the hardest thing too.
Totally.
It is definitely the hardest, but surround yourself with people that when you can't be your own cheerleader, they can help you on too. And that was something that definitely helped me when I was so down in the dumps and couldn't get myself out of it. It was really those around me that helped me be like, you know what? I can keep going. There is hope, and you just got to look a little bit harder for it sometimes, but it always does turn out better.
Yeah. So then what advice do you have lastly to the coaches? Like the coaches listening, if your coach was listening, or if any coach is listening, like what advice do you have to them about how these athletes are actually thinking, and just in general advice for coaches?
I'd say understand them as people too, not just as one of your athletes or another number on a roster. Really get to know them for who they are, because then not only can you help push them in the way that actually motivates them, but it creates an environment that people want to show up to every day. Yeah. When you have a coach that every morning is telling you good morning and wants to see you and seems genuinely excited to be there and around you,
totally.
It makes everyone want to work 10 times harder because it has that trust and the respect for that coach. So yes, you want to understand them as an athlete, watch as much film as you want of them, know how they play. But above all, if you really want someone to work for you, and it goes to any team setting, you need to know who they are as a person and what pushes them to that next level.
And I think people overlook how much coaches actually impact an athlete's mental health. And like so many resources are available for an athlete's mental health, but it's the people that are there day to day, it's the teammates and the coaches, that's where mental health comes from.
Oh, completely. So to have that supportive environment is something you need. So as a coach and a teammate, just being a good person. Yeah, just be a good person.
Yeah, just be kind.
Be kind, be a good person.
And recognize why people are there. Some athletes don't want every, life advice. They're like, just help me play my sport.
Exactly.
And other athletes are like, please, I need life advice. Yes. But learning to navigate those relationships and understanding what a person's needs are and why they're there completely is crucial.
Oh, yes, completely. I mean, understanding people's whys and what motivates them, that's what gets a team to have that winning culture and just that understanding of a human level. Who are you?
Yeah, I've totally found that it then translates into the real world.
Completely.
After you're done. Those are those life skills, right? We always talking about athletes. You learn a lot of life skills. So
yes, you do.
So then moving forward, what do you see changing in the world of college athletics over the next few years? And do you see yourself playing a role in that, especially female sports? Because there's a lot of discrepancy around female sports and NIL and all these things. So like, what's your opinion on all that?
I think the biggest thing is that it will become more equal among both sports. I think already women's sports are getting more highlighted than they used to be. I mean, if you look back 10 years ago, soccer games were not filled in stands at all. And now we actually do get a good crowd, and they're nationally televised games that people do tune in and listen and respect in different ways and want to be there to see it. So I think the game is going to keep growing across all of female athletics. And as long as people keep sharing their stories and who they are and why they're there, and that you do work just as hard as your male counterparts in every sport, no matter what you play. Yeah. So I think that will be a big difference. And I'm excited to see it. I can't wait that if I do have little girls one day to see them out on the field and supporting them in what they do.
You hoping they play soccer?
I hope they just enjoy whatever they do, honestly. It, to me, does not matter if they're going to be in band, any of that. Like, I just want you to be happy as a kid.
And so when talking about kids in sports, maybe like you said, you're coaching, what's always the message you try to leave to your kids that you're coaching?
Just to be better the next day. Always better yourself. Go to bed each day thinking, okay, what did I learn today? What do I get from that? And how do I move forward with it in a positive manner? Yeah. And support those around you while you are supporting yourself in that too.
Yeah, that's amazing. And so then last main question kind of we're looking at your website. You have your GoDaddy Era website.
I do.
And on there, you're talking about 3 key pillars: your vision, your voice, and your value, and how that's guided you through the chaos of the student athlete life.
Yeah.
Like, how have those 3 pillars shaped you?
A lot of it, vision is who you want to be. And so focusing on that end goal, yes. Your voice of speaking up for what you stand for and making yourself known for that too. And your values of just morals as a human being. Who are you? And how do I embrace those morals and use that voice to share them with others? To then again, get to that end vision of the goal of who I want to be. So through that in athletics, I think it's just led me each day to be a good person. Like we said before, I mean, remember those 3 pillars and use them to your advantage and help everyone around you.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. Okay, well, I would like to get into a little bit more of the parent advice section, where we ask some questions around recruitment. We've had some people write in questions, and one of the questions I want to ask you is like, what type of players do you think a coach is really looking for? Are they focused more on just if the player is good at their sport, or do you think that like the idea of being a well-rounded player is important?
I think the well-rounded player piece is definitely important. I mean, coaches, when they come to watch you, first they see you by your film. So your skill is what gets a coach to come and see you and want to know who you are as a player. But these coaches, they're going to be around you all the time. They also want to know that you're a good person on top of a good player.
Totally.
So they're watching you, that if there's cones to be picked up, if you just leave them and say, someone else is going to do it, they're seeing those actions. Are you someone that helps a player up when they get put down? And those type of little moments that make you that better person, better player in the overall scheme.
Yeah, I completely agree. You know, they're looking at what you do not playing.
Yes.
They're looking at all those outside habits that you have.
Completely.
And then what do you think makes a coach really say, then, I want that person on my team?
I think if the player, one, aligns with whatever the coach's playing style, what they need in that year. Because the thing is, too, you could be one of the most incredible players, but if that coach already has, let's say, a center forward in soccer for the next 3 years, they might not be looking at you just because they aren't looking at that position. It says nothing about you as a person or a player, but just the fact that their team does not need that asset right now. Yeah. So understanding that piece in it, but really a coach, what will solidify is if that is there, that they need you on the roster for that spot in your position, if you're skilled enough and can help the team be better the next day. But on top of it, are you good off the field? Because you want a culture that is incredible, a winning environment, a positive, just people want to be there.
Yeah, that's amazing. And what do you wish more parents or high school coaches understood better at the time?
I think just the level that comes with being a student athlete, especially at the Division I part of that, it is so much more than just you have practice every day.
Yeah.
Oh no, you have practice, but right after practice, you have weights. And after weights, you need to hit the showers and get to class right away. Sometimes you don't even have enough time to shower. But on top of that, balancing the homework piece with it and how you
showing up to class covered in sweat and everyone's like, what?
Oh yeah.
But she just walked in.
Completely. And I think it's something that you don't fully understand until you are in that position. And that's completely reasonable to not understand it. But trying to get a grasp of that this is so much more than your sport at this point, because you're not only physically tired, but you are mentally so tired from the classes all day, the people you're meeting. I mean, think back to your college experience, parents out there, like what was your like? And if you weren't a student athlete, it's going to be completely different than a student athletes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we can't just go out on a weekend and party because it sounds fun. Like, we got practice at 6 a.m. the next day.
And then navigating those friendships, making sure like people understand, like, sorry, say no.
Yeah.
The ability to say no.
Oh, yes.
You have to learn that skill.
Oh, yeah.
And know when to say yes. Know when to say yes when people think you should say no. Probably say yes then, and then times you think you should say yes, probably say no.
Exactly. Just being that confident in yourself again.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Okay, now we're going to get into just a couple questions that are like funny moments and then a rapid fire session.
Okay.
So first of all, think back. What is like the funniest or craziest team locker room or like bus ride story you have that you can share?
I would say one of the girls in my class, her name is May. Shout out May on my team. Love that girl. But she always would do a pregame dance for us. There's always that one teammate that is so outgoing and loves to just have a good time, be so joyous. And those moments are seriously some of the ones I look back on. I'm like, you made such a stressful situation of going into game time, have a little bit of fun before it and relax. And be able to just enjoy the people around you and get you hyped at the same time to go out there and kick whatever team's butt is over there. Like,
she just made it fun.
She really did. Yeah.
That's always a theme. It always reverts back to fun.
It does.
It always reverts back to just have some fun in life.
Yes, it does.
Okay, we're going to get into a little bit of a rapid fire session and ask some questions. So what is one habit you credit most for just like surviving through transition?
That is not rapid fire. I would say resilience.
I love it. I love it. Okay, your team locker room energizer when things feel heavy.
May.
Dancing.
Yes, dancing. May. Sorry. Yes, yeah. Dancing.
May. A book or quote or mantra that keeps you grounded when things get hectic.
There's always tomorrow. What is it? I don't know if I like that how it's worded though. Because it's like, I don't want people to think like, oh, you can do it tomorrow, you know?
Oh, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's more like, there's always like, if today was rough, like, tomorrow's a new day.
I'll just do control the controllables because I use that and everything.
Okay.
So it's way easier.
I like that a lot. So then what's your go-to hype song before the game?
Oh, gosh. I don't have one.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I actually have met a lot of athletes don't have one. I didn't have one.
Okay. I was like...
either, but then some people like are diehard about their hype songs.
Yeah, no. It's whatever's on in the locker room. Like, I'm fully in the moment.
You're just like, I'm going to get in right here, right now. Okay. So then are you an early bird or a sleep late?
Early bird, definitely.
Okay. Your dream NIL collab. Be bold.
I would say Viore. I love their clothes.
Viore can get so many athletes.
Oh, yeah.
They have no idea.
Yes.
Every athlete wants to work with Viore.
Yes.
You would do great.
Definitely. Thank you.
What teammate is most likely to go pro for something other than sports?
I'd say my roommate too, Ava. She's definitely going to be a huge like doctor someday out there and
like she's just gonna kill it.
Oh yeah, top surgeon. Like that girl's gonna kill it.
Okay, I love it. I love it. If you could switch sports for a day, what sport are you trying?
Beach volleyball, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, come teach you. Well,
yes,
we'll have
please.
A great time. Okay, a couple more. What's one thing in your locker bag that has just no business being there?
An inhaler from junior year. Yeah.
It's like random. Like pre-wrap is in there and everything.
Yeah. An inhaler from when I was sick, like junior year sometime. Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yep.
What's the most underrated leadership skill?
Listening.
Yeah. I'm still working on that one. Most people are.
Yeah. I feel like everyone is.
Everyone is. Okay. And then last one, what does committed while you are off duty mean to you?
Committed while off duty to me is just being true to yourself. I mean, every day, practice what you preach. If you're saying that you're doing it, actually do it. Follow through. Be the person. Yeah. Walk that. Like, be who you are and be proud of that. Yeah. But also, don't just say stuff to say things. Actually,
people can recognize it.
Oh, completely.
Especially as you get older.
You can read through it right away. So be confident and true to who you actually are.
Yeah. Embrace it. Own who you are.
Completely.
Well, amazing. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to come down here and do this. I had so much fun.
I
think you gave a lot of valuable insights to everybody.
Yes.
And so what is how can someone reach you through Instagram or something if there's an athlete who wants to learn a little more?
Please, anyone reach out, parents, athletes alike, everyone. My Instagram is Bri.Nunley. So super simple. You can DM me there. I'll see it and I'll give you a reply.
Nunley is EY at the end.
Yes, it is. Nunley. Yep. So yeah, please reach out anytime. I'm here to help anyone and everyone and just want to see you guys all do great. So
amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming here. Everyone, please go follow Bri and follow her story. She is going into her senior season. And so it's the last run for Bri. Are you doing 5th year?
No.
Okay. Didn't think so.
No.
We're done. She's like, no, I love my sport, but I'm ready.
I love it, but
Okay,
I'm
amazing.
ready.
Amazing. Well, everyone, please go follow Bri, follow her story. And I'm really excited to see how you do this year and just everything you accomplish after sports. So thank you again. Tune in every week. We are dropping Athletes Off Duty's Committed podcast every week. So tune in wherever you get your favorite podcast and think about what it means to be committed while you're off duty in your day-to-day life. Thank you.
Thank you.